My name is Teresa. I was a waitress up until March 17th when all of the front of house staff and back of house staff, everyone except for salaried employees, were furloughed from Spoon and Stable. It honestly felt like a relief initially when we found out the restaurant was closing, because the last week moving up to the closure felt very, very stressful. There's definitely times that I deeply feel that I don't want everything to go back to the way it was. I think one of the hardest weeks for me was the week we were supposed to go see my mom. Canceled our trip. My mom's almost 80 and has all kinds of risk factors. And so the reality of when I'll be able to travel to the West Coast to see her is, I don't even know, next year. In the course of a week, it went from, I'm going to go. We'll wear a mask. It's going to be fine, to, oh, I probably shouldn't go. Like, even if we're fine, like, we could get my mom sick, to canceling the trip. And then by the following Monday, I had lost my full-time and my part-time job, and neither of my kids had school anymore. It was crazy. And that first week, we went and picked up packets from the school, and we were supposed to do homeschooling, and we didn't do any homeschooling the first week. We were all just trying to get our heads around what was going on and how long it was going to last. And I went and sat in the corner of the backyard one day just so I could feel like I could talk freely and curse and really let go of all the different things I was thinking and feeling. Lucy looked at her brother last week and she was like, "Can you breathe?" Just out of nowhere. And he was like, "Yeah." And she's like, "I think you have coronavirus." And he was like, "I'm fine." And it was just like, you don't realize that it's there and they're thinking about it. Took Lucy almost 2 weeks to leave the house because in her preschool brain, like, she was like, it's everywhere. She was like, is it downtown? And I was like, well, there could be people downtown. Yeah, probably are people downtown with coronavirus. And we were in the car and she was like looking out the window and she's like, is it here? And I was like, I don't know. Like, you can't see it. It's everywhere. It's hard to not know what to say. When they announced that the parks were not going to open the pools for the whole summer, that was one of the first times I had this just epically selfish, crying moment for my family, because our summer is in Powderhorn Park. That's where we play. I've had a couple days where I feel sort of on the edge of like I could panic, I could freak out. I had a really hard, dark day with my mom. My mom's a very stubborn woman, and she was still going to the store, and I was just so pissed, and I was like, what are you doing? Like, you have so many people. Send someone to the grocery store for you. And then at the same time, also very fiercely knowing my role as a daughter, and that, saying that to my mom would never go over very well. And then, just flip of the hat, my mom called me sobbing, which she rarely does, and was just like, I'm gonna die. She just was like, I'm gonna die. She's like, I've been a smoker. I'm almost 80. I'm gonna get coronavirus and die. And to hear her vocalize that just was this stomach falling out. I'd been riding that fear in the back of my brain and not articulated it. And it's scary. It's scary to think about elderly parents that aren't in the peak of their health. And it would be, I can't imagine losing my mom.